Let's go.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm starting a brand new build, the legendary Honda S2000 from Tamiya. In this series, I'll take you step by step through the building process, spread across 2 in-depth episodes where I've done my best to capture every stage of the build. If you're curious to see how this model comes together and what the final result looks like, stick around. You won't want to miss it. And if you enjoy model building as much as I do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you'll be the first to catch my next projects. Your support really helps me keep creating. I started this build with the unboxing, and right from the beginning, it was clear that the kit delivers Tamiya's signature quality. The bodywork is crisp with clean lines and sharp details, while the interior and chassis are beautifully rendered. Every element seems to be in its proper place, contributing to a very realistic overall impression. The rims and tires capture the look of the real car extremely well, and the transparent parts are crystal clear, free of distortions. Molding lines are minimal, which means less cleanup and a smoother build process. The only real drawback is the absence of an engine, which would have added even more depth to the model. Still, Tamiya's craftsmanship is evident throughout, making this a highly enjoyable and rewarding kit. True facts about the real Honda S2000. Produced between 1999 and 2009, it was Honda's 50th anniversary sports car. It featured a naturally aspirated 2.0L inline-4 F20C with one of the highest specific outputs of any production engine at the time, 120 horsepower per liter. The car could rev up to an impressive 9,000 RPM, a rare feat for road cars. With its perfect 50/50 weight distribution and rear-wheel drive layout, the S2000 earned a reputation as one of the best handling roadsters of its era. The first step is marking all visible molding lines with a black marker. I do this for 2 main reasons. First, it makes sure I don't accidentally miss any areas during sanding. Second, it acts as a visual guide. As I sand, the marker gradually disappears, and once it's completely gone, it usually means the molding lines are gone too. Of course, this trick isn't 100% foolproof. You still need to double check after the final sanding and cleanup to be sure no lines are left behind.
But I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last. Yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never.
The next step is sanding. I begin with the molding lines that I have just marked, and then I continue with the entire model. This process helps open up all the pores of the plastic, allowing the paint to adhere much better. For sanding, I'm using a simple nail sanding sponge, as I find it more practical and easier to obtain than modeling sanding sponges.
Consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top.
After I finished sanding the entire model, I began deepening all the panel lines using a scribing tool. This step is crucial to prevent paint from accumulating in those lines, which could result in a model that lacks visible doors or other body lines. It's important to carry out this process with great care, as it's easy to lose control of the tool and accidentally scratch the body of the model. I can confirm that it is quite challenging to cover up these scratches and make them invisible. The next step is to clean the model. Using a microfiber cloth with a few drops of isopropyl alcohol, I wipe down the entire body and check for any deep scratches or missed molding lines. It's time to focus on the chassis. I have removed it from its sprue and sanded it as thoroughly as possible. After finishing the chassis, I prepared the mirrors and glued them in place to prevent any paint damage later on. After a good final wipe, the model is ready for the paint. The color I chose for this model is Warm Yellow Pearl from Creative Colors. For priming, I used Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 White from Mr. Hobby. These primers are great, and they make my models look amazing after I started using them. The first step is to dilute the primer. As it is, the primer is very thick and needs to be adequately thinned. I use a mix ratio of 1 to 2 for this, using 1 part primer and 2 parts Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. I began by applying the first layer, which was very thin and dry. This initial layer created a foundation that would help the subsequent layers adhere better. In total, I applied 4 layers. First, I applied 2 layers, 1 dry and 1 wet. After allowing them to dry, I sanded the surface to ensure it was even. Then I applied 2 more wet layers. Once the primer was completely dry, I began preparing for the painting process. The paint is already diluted and is ready for use. I started by painting the hard-to-reach areas, such as the holes in the grille, around the mirrors, the wheel arches, and the bumpers. After that, I continued with the rest of the body. I applied a total of 4 layers, 2 dry and 2 wet, to ensure perfect coverage. I also painted the chassis using the same number of layers to make sure that no color differences would show up. The paint job turned out beautifully, and I am very pleased with the result. Once the paint had dried and it was safe to touch, I began applying the metal transfer logos. I want to seal them under a clear coat to protect them during future cleaning and to keep them looking shiny for as long as possible. After I completed the metal transfer logos, I began preparing the clear coating for the airbrush. I prefer using an automotive 2K clear coat for my models because it offers superior shine, is more scratch resistant, and lasts longer than standard modeling clear coats. The mixing ratio is 2:1, and it sprays smoothly and levels out nicely. I began by spraying the chassis first to ensure my airbrush was functioning properly and to prevent any clogs, as I have experienced that issue in the past. And after I continued with the body, I applied a total of 3 layers, 1 dry layer and 2 wet layers for perfect coverage. After allowing the model to dry for 48 hours, is safe to touch. Although the manufacturer of the clear coat states that it is safe to handle after 24 hours, I prefer to wait a bit longer to be certain. At this stage, I want to paint all the edges in the interior bay and the windshield frame black, so I need to mask around these areas. I am using Tamiya wide masking tape in combination with Mr. Hobby liquid mask for the hard-to-reach spots. I prepare the transmission for painting by masking it with tape to prevent overspray. I also applied liquid masking in the deeper areas around the gearbox and drive shaft. Before I began painting the windshield frame, I sanded a small section of the clear coat to open the pores, which would help the black paint adhere better to the surface. Without this step, the paint would likely peel off once it dried. For this process, I used Tamiya black paint. While waiting for the black paint to dry, I separated all the interior components from their sprues and placed them in a zip bag. This way, when I'm ready to move on to the interior, everything will be in one place and no parts will be left behind. After I finished with the windshield frame, I moved on to the chassis and painted the front shield and wheel arches black. While waiting again for the paint to dry, I started cutting the components for the suspension and transmission from the sprues and placed them in a zip bag, so I will have them ready for painting when it's their turn. I cut both components from the exhaust pipe sprues and glued them together, as it will soon be time for painting. I have coated the recently painted windshield frame with Tamiya Clear and set the model aside to dry. It is now time to paint the transmission and exhaust pipe. I used Mr. Hobby titanium silver for this task. I really like how this color looks on these components. I didn't like the clean, new look of the undercarriage, so I added some depth to the lines with Tamiya panel liner. The results are amazing. The chassis looks very realistic now. As I progress with this model build, it's now time to paint the interior and prepare it for assembly. I recently bought a masking pen and was excited to test it out. However, I was quite disappointed in the end, as it was difficult to remove. I applied it over the seats and door panels to create some color separation. I painted the interior in black and yellow to maintain the model's color scheme. I used the Tamiya yellow and flat black and sealed the colors with semi-gloss clear. I didn't like the original look of the Radiator grille, so I decided to replace it with something that looks much better. I had some leftover mesh from another model, and I used it to replace that front grille. After cutting the grille from its place, I have sanded down all the rough edges and glued the mesh in place. When the glue was completely dry, I had cut the excess with my hobby snips. The grille looks so much better now.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes, it makes me.
The last part of this video focuses on the suspension. I painted all the components using super stainless paint from Mr. Hobby, which I believe suits these elements very well. Once the paint was completely dry, I applied a red color with a wide brush over the coils of the springs to give them a more realistic appearance. After finishing the suspension, I used rubber black paint on all areas where rubber protection would typically be found, such as on the steering link and differential. Although these details are small and may be nearly invisible once the model is fully assembled, they make a significant difference in elevating a regular model to a remarkable one filled with loads of details.
Live it up on the attack, baby I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life, I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap, only got one, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed, baby I'm bad, baby I'm bad.
That's a wrap for the very first episode of this series. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate your time and support. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. And make sure to stick around, because the next episode is coming very soon. See you there.